try to understand the phobia and the fears that we feel, so later on we can deal with them. And so what is a phobia really? Well, a phobia is a really intense feeling of fear over something that doesn't really cause any threat, or just a minor threat. So it doesn't really make sense to fear it, but for some reason we do, and that's what we're gonna look into here. These phobias are extremely normal, more normal than we can think, actually. Really, a lot of people have them, and in many other people's eyes they can seem funny, and it's hard to understand, to really feel the feelings that the person with a phobia has. And it's not funny at all, because these phobias are really horrible. They can break down a person to, yeah, his lowest form of human being, I guess, and can really cause panic attacks in public situations, and that's really humiliating. So, no funny business at all. So, some of the most common phobias that we can have are a fear of heights, a fear of dogs, a fear of snakes, and the most common of all, the fear of public speaking, for some reason. Most of these develop in our childhood. Maybe we did something embarrassing and everyone laughed at us, or a dog barked at us really high, really loud, so we got scared. But they can also develop in adulthood. So most people know about their phobias, but they just can't control the feelings anyway. I know this personally. It's really weird feeling, knowing about it, that you know about the fear, it's there, but even though you can't control your feelings, it's really weird. But it's cool to dig into also. Just thinking about the situation can really cause cold shivers and chills down our spines, and even worse, experiencing the fear that we actually have, like meeting a big dog that's not on a leash, can cause panic attacks, as I said before. If you haven't experienced intense fear in your life, I gotta say you're lucky. Most people have, and please try to understand, because this is a very serious issue for a lot of people in the world, and a lot of people need help. It's hard to ask for it, but maybe you noticed some people acting weird, and then you can ask. And if you've had phobias for maybe your whole life, I gotta say I really feel bad for you. I know how it feels. I know that terrible feeling, but it's time to take action to actually get rid of it once and for all. So this feeling can be so intense that a lot of people actually go great lengths to avoid situations in their lives, so it actually changes their lives. They miss out on a lot of great stuff, and this is when the fear actually becomes a phobia. This is where the fear becomes dangerous, because now it has control over our life, and now it will just try to take more and more and more. So now we're gonna compare normal fear with phobias. And normal fear is a good thing. It protects us from dangerous situations, and it made the human species survive. So woohoo for normal fear. And phobias are actually like exaggerated threats, or fear or a threat that doesn't really exist at all. So for example, if you see a bulldog on that snarls at you, a really big one, it's normal to be a little afraid. But if you see a chihuahua on a leash and you're really afraid of that, it's irrational, and that's a phobia, because it can't really hurt you or anything. So another example, if you have a fear of flying, and you are on an airplane and you're going through some turbulence on a storm or something in the air, it's completely natural to have a little anxiety and in your stomach, like ugh. But a phobia is when your best friend had a wedding on an island, a beautiful island, and you have to fly there. But you're afraid of flying, so you have to say no to the whole wedding. And that's a phobia, because that changed your life, and it changed your life just because of the fear that you felt. And it wasn't really like any threat at all. So another example, if you are afraid of dogs, as I said, if there's a snarling bulldog, it might be, yeah, a little normal, be afraid. But if you got like have to go through a park and you go around it just because you might see a dog, that is a phobia. That changed your life just because of the fear. And if you're afraid of needles, for example, it's normal to feel a little weird having blood drawn from you and stuff. But if you never sees the doctor or something like that, just because of the fear of needles or blood, that changes your life as well, and then it becomes a phobia, because that's a really good thing for your health. The phobias are often categorized in different categories. So we have the animal phobias, like fear of snakes and rats and spiders and dogs, for example. We also have natural environment phobias, where you're afraid of the water, the dark, storms and heights. So situational phobias are also one category, and this is when you are in a specific situation, like if you're in a small place, maybe you're in an airplane or a car, and also in on a bridge or in a tunnel, for example. And there's also this blood injection injury phobia, where you're afraid of needles, blood, and etc. And social phobia, a very common one, where you're afraid of not really talking to strangers maybe, but being humiliated in front of strangers. That's the thing. You might avoid social confrontations just because you might be humiliated or embarrassed. There is also one called agoraphobia, that can't be really categorized like the others. And this is the one where you're afraid of public spaces, because you're afraid of getting panic attacks, and that's also a really humiliating experience. So there we have it. Everything you need to know about phobias. If you want to learn more, you can check out 2metersofear.webs.com, and please subscribe here and suggest if you have a phobia, maybe I can help you. So please comment below if you like this video, and also like me on Facebook. So see ya!